What if I told you that your to do list was the actual problem and not the solution? Hi, I'm Daisy. I am a certified project manager and I manage multi-million-dollar projects where if something doesn't get done, people lose money. So I know a thing or two about getting stuff done under pressure. But here's what's wild, that for years, my personal to do list was a disaster and it made me feel anxious and more behind and more like a failure. And then I realized that I was using the wrong tool. In this video, I'm going to break down why your to do lists backfire and what you should be doing instead. So, this is a system that changed everything for me. So, let me tell you the lowest moment I had with my to do list. Yeah, we do have a personal relationship. It was a Sunday night, and I was trying to plan out my week, and I sat down with my planner. I have a planner company as well. My beautiful planners are there behind me. And, I was trying to be responsible and I started writing, call the dentist, register the kids for camp, send the work report, prep for the Tuesday meeting, buy that birthday gift for that upcoming birthday party, respond to those emails, plan the meals, do the laundry, return those library books. And the list just kept growing. And I was at 2 pages, at 3 pages. And you know what I felt? Not prepared. So, not organized. And I felt like I was drowning before the week even started. And the reason why this fails is because all the tasks are treated equally. They're just listed. There's no priority. There's no priority. There's just you're just staring at a to-do list. So when your brain sees 30 items, it just shuts down. So, an example, you might have returned library books that sits next to figuring out childcare for the next month. They're not the same. One going to the library takes 5 minutes, the other time takes research, takes phone calls, takes decision making. So, there's different efforts involved for each tasks. So, when Monday comes around, I look at my massive to do list and I know what I did and what I didn't. For example, you know that I returned those library books because that is easy. I just get the library books, I put them in the car, and I drive and I go away. But figuring out that childcare thing, I need to know who's available, who are the sitters that are available, who can we trust, and how can we make this work. So guess what task gets pushed back over and over again? You got it. Finding that childcare because going to the library is easy. There's no decision fatigue there. Just get in the car, get the books, and drop them off. So, what you end up doing is that you end up doing the things on your to do list that are easy and that are sometimes meaningless, to be honest. And you cross off things and you push things back that are actually important things that you need to take care of now. So let's just be honest here. How many times have you written down something in your planner that you already did, but you just write it down just to cross it off? Yeah, we all been there before. So, if to-do lists don't work, you want to know then what does. This you probably have been hearing, write it in your to-do list. You need a to-do list. But if I'm telling you that doesn't work, then what does? Well, first, I teach this framework and I have free templates for you that you can actually use for real life, not just for the office. And all of these are inside the free membership. So go ahead and I'm going to pin the link here and so you can have it and get access to our free membership. And just go ahead and grab it now so you can start implementing these things right away. So here's what actually changed everything. When I was at work, my boss asked me to give an update on this huge project that we have. So I didn't say to her, well, these are the 47 tasks that we completed last week. What I actually did is that I told her about the three critical milestones that we hit. And that's what mattered. I didn't list out all the things that we did on our project plan. There were the three big rocks, the three milestones that we hit. And that's what moved the project forward. And then it hit me. Why not? Why am I not doing this for my to-do list, for real life, for my task list? So let me introduce you that not all tasks are created equal. They're all different. So there are 4 categories that will help you that I use at work when I am having my project meetings. And I hope that this will help you in your to-do list. So number one are the things that you have to do now. These are the things that are urgent and important, like the doctor's appointment, if you have a work deadline, those go on the do now. Then we have schedule it, things that are important, but they are not urgent, like meal planning. Yeah, you have to do that's important, but it's not urgent. There's exercise and quality time. So those you schedule it. And then there's delegate and minimize, which are urgent but not important, like some of your emails or some requests or some group text messages that you may have come your way. And then lastly, we have drop it, and that's neither urgent or important. Like looking at emails that have been sitting in your inbox for 6 months, most likely they're not that important if nobody has followed up with you after 6 months of being there. So, or also like any perfectionism task, things that you're trying to improve and improve and improve to get to a state of perfection, which is impossible. So you just drop those. So again, it's do now, schedule it, delegate, minimize, and drop it. And do now is urgent, important. Schedule it is important but not urgent. Delegate, minimize is urgent but not important. And drop it is neither urgent or important. So I took that on a Sunday night and I listed and I categorized my to do list, like the call dentist. Okay, it's been overdue for 8 months and somebody needs to see your teeth. So do now, that goes into the do now. And return the books to the library. They're not even overdue, so I can just drop it for now till that date comes closer. And figuring out childcare, that goes in the do now. And this affects whether, because this affects whether I can work or not work next month, right? If I don't have proper childcare, how can I work? So, and the responding to all the 47 emails, most of them don't even need a response, so just minimize it. Another example that I can give you of things that are due now: if your kid is going on a field trip and you need to sign that permission slip that is due tomorrow, that goes in the do now. If you're planning your next if you're planning a trip with your family, you got to check your school schedules. If you're planning to take a trip while the kids are on winter break, summer break, whatever the case may be, then you want to schedule that. And if you don't need to respond to every group text message, so you can just minimize it. You know, sometimes we get added to all these group text messages and you don't even know why. Yeah, those are the things that you can minimize. So this, I noticed that this was a game changer. And suddenly from having 47 things screen at me, I had clarity on the three things that I have to do now, my top three priorities. And everything else had a place. I had moved it in place based on the four categories that I just mentioned to you. So I know that this priority matrix is simple in theory, but applying it to your actual life takes practice. So inside my free membership, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to categorize your tasks with real examples. We're going to have decision trees and templates. I'm adding free resources. So make sure that you grab that link and get added to the free membership so you can feel less overwhelmed when we can work on this together. Moving on. So let me walk you through my actual Monday morning this week. I woke up, I had my coffee, I spent 5 minutes with my to do list, not writing a new one because I already had everything in my brain dump. And I just asked myself, what are the top three things that I can do now today? It was that finish that project proposal for work that was due on Wednesday. And yes, I had to pick up my kids from school. I don't think that's optional. And yeah, obviously. And I had to schedule that dentist appointment because it's been months. So those are my top three. And that was that. So now my morning routine is spending 5 minutes categorizing, not just listing, and picking up my top three priorities, my do now that I need to do for that day, and schedule the important but not so urgent stuff so it doesn't disappear, and then let go of the rest without guilt. So everything else, like the laundry, the emails, the meal planning, I schedule it for later in the week. And that way, this doesn't hijack my Monday. So at 9 p.m. at night, when I close my laptop, I feel like I got done what needed to get done, what was important. And I scheduled a dentist appointment, like I said, that I finally had to schedule. And I picked up my kids some time and I conquered Monday. I won my day. So here's my challenge to you: take this priority matrix and actually use it tomorrow morning. And if you want support while you're still figuring this out, like templates, community, real examples, that's why I have my free membership to help you out. And we're not just talking about productivity, we're actually doing this together. So make sure you go and get the link and get at so I can add you to my free membership. There's already free resources in there for you to grab now. So let me know in the comments what is the one thing on your to-do list that you've been carrying around forever and probably just needs to be dropped. Let's talk about it and hit subscribe because we're building something real here. All right, see you in the next video.